Hello, welcome back to another episode of Slam D Tackle Reviews and Fishing, as I call it. Today we're going to talk about spinnerbaits. You know, it's that time of year where the fall bite's coming on and bait fish are moving, and spinnerbait's a great bait. And there's a bunch of different colors. This is a Strike King with a Colorado leaf and a willow leaf blade. There's Strike King spinnerbait on it. The only Strike King spinnerbait on a spinnerbait. Strike King swim bait. The only two swim baits I use is Pappy's baits. Go pick a lot of them up. And Strike King. Huge believer in Strike King. I just like Strike King. Basic setups before I get into depth about it. Got a Lose LFS 6.8-to-1 gear ratio. I like a little bit faster in case I gotta burn it, but I can still slow roll this. The rod is a 7-foot medium power fast action St. Croix Premier Series. I like this rod. This rod has done a lot for me. It's not my nicest rod. I mean, it's one of them, but it's definitely done the job. I spooled it up with 15-pound fluorocarbon. I just like it. For spinnerbaits, I don't know. This is what I'd recommend. If you don't want to do this, by all means, you don't have to do it. For me, I like to tie a snap-on. I feel like I get more action out of it. I mean, and if it's one of those days where it's finicky and you gotta keep changing spinnerbaits, this is helpful. I mean, a lot of people say these, you know, will say bass won't hit this. Well, I mean, let's take this away. What are you looking at right now? That's a big old wire that they're just hitting. I doubt that piece of, I don't know, aluminum, copper, steel, whatever it's made of, is going to bother them whatsoever. This is a 3/8 ounce Strike King spinnerbait. I love Strike King for spinnerbaits and crankbaits and such, even some soft baits. Now, this is a natural colored swim bait. I forget the color name. I know, it's me, but this is more of a natural color spinnerbait. I got a trailer hook on there, but it's more of a natural colored spinnerbait. It's just a shad representation. Now, this is mainly for clear water bass, smallmouth and largemouth. Next fishing video will probably be with a spinnerbait because it's that time of year. When you're stepping down sizes, and I mean pretty small, I do have a lot of small spinnerbaits too. You know, this bait will do just as fine. When that water's dirtied up, I like to go small and colorful, very bright. This is bleeding spinnerbait. I don't even know what brand this is. I probably picked this up at Walmart for about $1. Well, guess what? Almost all of them are the same unless you want a nice one. I mean, there's some highs and lows like that Strike King. For me, that makes a difference. But when this is just a good bleeding bait for me, you know. Also, what I noticed about this hook is a lot longer than most of them. That's just me. Now, with the smaller spinnerbaits, I like to rig that up on a 7-foot medium power fast action. I say this because I feel like I can get it done on lighter gear with a light swim bait. Spinnerbait. I'm going to do that a bunch more. Anyway, reel. It's a Lose Laser. St. Croix Mojo Bass. I don't think I mentioned that. 12-pound fluorocarbon. This rod was meant for plastics, but I mean, you can do so much more. Like I'm doing right now. You know, light spinnerbaits will do this just fine on this. I like this rod. comfortable. I like that loose laser. So, now, where the fall's coming, a lot of shad are running, so you want to go normal, like a shad-colored swim bait, white, bluish white. But sometimes, you know, we get some rain, and that's not good. That's not good if you have just a shad-colored swim bait. I mean, there we go. Got spinnerbait. I mean, because you want to step up to something that's really bright, chartreuse, to a green, something better. I mean, I've got them in, you know, chartreuse and white, chartreuse red with Indiana blade. A good tactic I like to do, especially when the bite is real finicky, I take a blade. When I need to slow down the spin of the blade, I take, especially dirty water, this helps, a chartreuse, a meat mallet. Let's see if I can do this. I'm just hammering at that blade and flatten it out. You know? So, do that until you got a flat blade. What that's going to do is it's going to create a slow spinning blade. And I was fishing this bait last time, I think 10 casts max. I had a 3-pounder and a 2-pounder. If it's getting finicky, try flattening your blade and you'll catch fish. I hope. Now, where sometimes you need a bigger profile, I'll step up. Where is it? I mean, sometimes you want to go more natural, so I'm stepping up to a spinner, almost any spinner bait, and I'm gonna dig into my swim bait box. This is game changer. If most of you don't know this, if you need a bigger, as is, a spinner bait's a big profile bait, but if you want something bigger or with more action on it, I suggest you put a swim bait on. And a good one that I like is the Pappy's Baits little swim bait. I think this is emerald and purple. Completely forget the name of the color. I should remember it, but I'm terrible with that. But I'm sure if you give them a representation, I mean, get it. And this is about the same color. It's got some red in there and everything. But leave me a comment if you want. I'm gonna leave his number, but leave me a comment on what bait I should do next. You know, give these baits a try, by the way, because these baits are killer. And there you go, little swim bait, perfect. It's just good for a spinnerbait. It's deadly. I mean, for me, it's just, I just like to fish it like that. You know, I'm not even a huge spinnerbait guy. More of a finesse guy, honestly. But once it's about this time of year, I will pick up a spinnerbait, and I will try and slam them. But if you do not like spinnerbaits, by all means, go ahead and pick up a chatterbait. The only two colored chatterbaits I have, and that's because you throwing a spinnerbait, is just a white chartreuse, dirty water and clear water. And more often than not, I'm fishing that chartreuse one. And, you know, you can go hammer them. So, thanks again. Please comment in questions. Anything. I'll answer them in the next video. If you want a video on a certain bait, on a certain rig, please just leave me feedback. Thanks, guys.